Transhumanism, posthumanism, game studies. How do these ideas and fields fit together? If you haven't watched the video on game studies yet, it is recommended that you do so. Alright, so what's the connection here? Let us start a bit down in the past with Haraway's Cyborg Manifesto. It is arguably the big bang of academic trans and posthumanism. In her manifesto, Haraway describes how machines and networks will disrupt hierarchies, foster understanding and equality between us. At this time, from a feminist perspective, technology was then ready at hand to liberate us from social repression. This thought sparked an optimism that would form the basis of what we call today transhumanism, the idea that technologies are to be used as enhancements to the human being, a perspective that Haraway distanced herself later from. At the core of transhumanist thought is the human, as of superior interest and sublime, not animal, not thing, but human. Technologies become, in transhumanist perspectives, a tool to optimize the human experience. It is a view that considers supreme control over machines by humans. Now, it would be wrong to say that posthumanism emerged as a form of opposition to transhumanism, as both existed in tandem ever since then. Posthumanism, as distinct perspective, emancipates itself, however, more and more in the 21st century as a critical take on technologies. Posthumanism is heavily influenced by actor network theory and regards humans not as superior to other things, but simply a thing among other things, affected and influenced in the same manner like anything else. The conclusion out of this thought is that we are not all in control and that we need to study the objects and technologies around us, not only ourselves, in order to make reasonable assumptions of our situation as human beings among other things. The main difference between these schools of thought are that in transhumanism, I study the human as something special in relation to other objects that are used by me, while in posthumanism I shift my focus on the things themselves to realize dependencies and non-human perspectives. So far so good. So what has this to do with game studies? In game studies, games are our technology, our thing if you want so. What do you think? Do games enhance our human experience or do they force us into dependencies? Think about a smartwatch that counts our steps. It gamifies our experience of walking. Does it enhance your experience of walking by giving you quantitative data about your performance? Or does it force you into a dependency of having always to keep track of your steps when walking? How would a transhumanist argue? How a posthumanist? Understanding both perspectives helps you to understand the arguments presented in game studies literature by their authors much better as it helps you to understand your own perspective when thinking and writing about games. So what are you, a trans or posthumanist?